Just to be sure, there's a spoiler. Mary and Audrey's feud had already been hinted at in Young Sheldon Season 7, only for Georgie and Mandy's first marriage to establish it, but the Young Sheldon spinoff also highlighted why it shouldn't focus on their conflict, as another one has more potential. Georgie and Mandy getting married in Young Sheldon Season 7 prompted one of Mary and Audrey's first all-out arguments when the latter learned of Connie's arrest and her and Georgie's illegal business, effectively insulting Mary's family. Mary and Audrey's feud only worsened in First Marriage, but another conflict proved more interesting in the Young Sheldon spinoff. Due to the conflicts already highlighted in Young Sheldon, Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage was always supposed to have many characters on opposite sides of an argument. This was evident in Audrey's disdain for Georgie going on after their truce in First Marriage, but also in the problems inevitably coming for Georgie and Mandy and dividing them, if the sitcom's title is to be used as a chart detailing Georgie and Mandy's first marriage's direction. First Marriage also heavily featured Mary and Audrey's tendency to fall into a pattern of vicious fighting, but another feud involving Audrey proved more interesting. Welcome to Movie Spy. First Marriage is better off focusing on Audrey's conflict with Meemaw instead of Mary. Audrey and Connie's clash in First Marriage Season 1, Episode 19 proved it. Audrey and Connie's initial interactions weren't openly hostile, despite Audrey not having a high opinion of Connie after her arrest. Still, Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage Season 1, Episode 5, Thanksgiving, showed them being civil with each other. However, Connie's illegal bookie business and her decision to accept Jim's bet effectively made an enemy out of Audrey, who was angry at Jim's gambling but even angrier at Connie just assuming she could ask for that much money from them when what she was doing was illegal. What happened in First Marriage Episode 19 quickly turned their argument into a feud. Audrey and Mary's skirmishes inevitably made their feud more prominent due to how frequent they were in Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage Season 1. Indeed, between meeting one another often while spending time with CC or interfering with Georgie and Mandy's fights, Audrey and Mary's feud had plenty of time to take shape. At the same time, what caused Mary and Audrey to fly off the handle in their fights was often something minor, whether that was a consequence of Audrey's tendency to put herself at the center of the attention or of Mary's inclination to judge Audrey particularly harshly. On the contrary, Audrey and Connie's feud had the potential to be more impactful in the chaos they sowed, as both proved willing not to back down from a fight. Just as Audrey refused to pay Jim's debt, not fearing Connie and threatening to call the police if Connie had anything to object, Connie threatened Audrey to bring Mandy down with her if she did. The believability that both could go through with their threats was what eventually convinced them not to act on them, showing the full potential of a bigger focus on the antagonism between Connie and Audrey. Meemaw's forgotten Young Sheldon role will expose Audrey's biggest crime. Connie helped Mandy when Audrey forced the McAllisters to turn their back on her. Even putting aside Connie's choice to accept money from Jim and let him place a bet, Audrey has many more reasons to be wary of Connie than Mary. After all, Mandy revealed in Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage Season 1, Episode 19 how Audrey was still angry that Mandy and Georgie had chosen to name their daughter after Connie rather than her. However, Young Sheldon also proved that Mandy had all the reasons to name CC after Connie, as Connie welcomed her into her home and materially supported Mandy during her pregnancy, while Audrey rejected Mandy because of it. This makes Audrey and Connie's antagonism against one another have higher stakes, as Mandy respects and admires Connie. Getting to know Meemaw made Mandy want to be like her because she admired Connie's worst impulses regarding her illegal businesses. But the whole reason Mandy and Connie built that special relationship is because of Audrey's worst crime in Young Sheldon. Without Audrey disowning Mandy during her pregnancy, Mandy wouldn't have grown so close to Connie, thus making Mandy and Connie's close bond always remind Audrey of her mistakes as a mother. Meemaw has more stories left to tell in Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage. The full extent of where Connie's story could bring her wasn't shown in First Marriage Season 1. Her refusal to fund Georgie's acquisition of McAllister Auto and Tires makes Connie's role trickier in Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage Season 2. However, the Young Sheldon spinoff could have a better reason to bring back Connie, not in relation to Georgie, but because of her special bond with Mandy. Indeed, Mandy was one of the characters Connie interacted with the most in Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage Season 1. Connie and Audrey's feud could have an even better reason to be developed because of Connie and Mandy agreeing on Audrey sucking. As Connie said in First Marriage Episode 19, First Marriage Season 1 showed Audrey trying to make amends with Mandy and Young Sheldon, even if not directly, by helping her pursue her career and with CC, or even just by giving Mandy and Georgie a place to stay. Mandy not changing her mind on Audrey and still almost worshipping Connie makes Mandy unaware of Audrey's efforts. And this would reasonably make Audrey angry. Fully examining such a dynamic would justify Connie's return and even giving her more screen time in Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage Season 2, as Season 1 only offered glimpses of a storyline with such potential. Thanks for watching.